Hello, thank you for taking the time to watch this video and the other videos on this YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about a dream that I had in 2020 about the future expansion of mankind and how God was relaying this information about the things to come in the future. I'm just going to get straight into this dream and read it as I've written it. So I dreamt my mother, was looking at a book that had space info in it. She had it open on a page with a mushroom cloud on it. Then she spoke the words, "Don't let this cloud rise above the firmament," and there was a mushroom cloud. The next part of this dream I saw and heard, "If it goes beyond the firmament, the kings of the Gentiles will rule for generations, or use it to hold on to power for generations." Then I saw a Star Wars type scene and a finger pointed at a Death Star like object that you would see on Star Wars. Now what I believe this means is that space-based weaponry, certain groups, states, countries who dominate in space-based weaponry will be the rulers of everyone else. That's what I took this to mean. So I saw different types of Death Stars, which I assume mean space-based weapons next to asteroids and planets. I then saw battleships that were from Earth and they were in space. I saw they were military type craft as they had runway type patterns on them like an aircraft carrier. Now I know this wouldn't be a practical way of building something like this, but sometimes information's relayed to me in a dream in a way that I can understand, so I know what it means. I also saw Star-Lord or similar written on the sides of one of them. I saw a craft very slender that came out of it, and that's this craft down here that came out of one of these. Now, the Star-Lord part of the dream, I believe, means it's sort of like a projection of man's pridefulness in expansion or maybe colonization. Like I'm lording my power over the stars. That's what it could mean. And then in the dream, my mother said, "Do not exceed the tolerance." Now, I took this to mean that there is a certain distance mankind is allowed to expand to in space, but no further. And I saw this electrical type of barrier. I don't know if it was natural. It just looked electrified, and it was around a certain area, and the human race wasn't allowed to go beyond that barrier, and it was for our own good. And the forbidden part of the dream, I took it to mean that in the dream was relayed to me like there were monsters beyond that. There was something bad beyond that, and that's what it means. And then there's a note down here where I've talked about what I believe the dream meant, about kings of Earth or leaders will use nuclear weapons to dominate and rule space for generations. That is why nuclear weapons or warfare is to be forbidden in space. The Death Star represent military weaponry or domination on an interplanetary scale. Star-Lord means lordship or rulership over the stars. And then I've written here that this dream had an Old Testament law feeling about it, as if this was instructions for a colony moving out of Earth, similarly like the Israelites moving out of Egypt to the Promised Land. This is a dream I had. Pray about it. If you don't agree with it, don't agree with it. Thank you for watching. Bye.